Here's a 1986 Yamaha RZ350, and this is a Canadian model. It has a clean Montana title, so the frame is Americanized, I guess. And this is just a brief walk around with the fairing kind of mocked up. This is my fourth RZ that I have, and I figured 3 is enough. So this one's different because it's got the full fairing, and we'll start at the front. So one difference from my other RZs is this looks like it has a different fork that has that brace on there. Those fork legs have a little tab for that. I haven't checked the diameter to see if that was any different. And then these wheels are black, but originally I'm sure this bike was probably red, because typically the bikes had red wheels, and you can see a little bit of the red peeking out there. And so the fairing fits. It's in pretty good condition for its age. This left-hand side looks good. And just like typical motorcycles, I guess people just fall over on their right side all the time. So this right there is broken out where the mirror would go. And obviously it's got a square headlight for the bikes that didn't come to the US. And then this side looks really good too. It's got some cracks there, but that's pretty typical of that lower cowl. And I don't know what the variable damper is. And the VIN is right there, so February 86. And it's JYA1WV006GA000472. And we'll stay on the plastic. So the plastic here is good. I did throw on one of my old RZ seats, and it does not fit this bike. I'm assuming the tanks are the same, but the rear cowl is different than the US models. This one just has the single handrail. That's a stress crack right there. And on the rear, these were the turn signal sockets right there and there. And this has got road rash. I'm assuming it was road raced. It's got all the stickers. The rear wheel is good. Obviously no chain. And then on the inside where the frame, so this is all intact. It's got the mounts for the fairing there. And then down there, got that screwed in. The switchgear is in decent condition. That doesn't look stock. The speedometer is there, but not the tachometer. I've got a lot of parts for these bikes. I've had RZs for over 20 years and RZ350s, so this one was a different animal. Still has the stock air box, oil tank, all that stuff looks like it's intact. And then electrics look like they're in place. Something's missing right here though. But right now this is a builder. The key switch has been broken out. But that's the other difference too. You can tell the American bikes came with handlebars, and this one has clip-ons. So I figure I'm gonna put it for a buy it now price. And if nobody wants it, then this one is going to get parted out. I'd like to keep it complete. And like I said, I've owned these forever. I have boxes and boxes stashed away of parts. So the potential buyer has first dibs on a lot of stuff. So there's the bike with fairing on, and then I'll do one without the fairing to show how the frame and other parts are. Here's the RZ laid over on its left side, and this will show all the underneath, the dirt, the grunge, and anything that's missing. So starting at the back, you can see the electrics are hanging down right there. And I'm not sure, I'm sure there's a cubby hole plastic thing that goes in the back there where you can see air right there. And wheels look good, rotors are decent. You can see the red paint poking out there. And passenger foot peg's good. And then this peg though, looks like somebody bashed on it with a hammer right there, but that piece is broken right there, and it's got the different rear brake, but I think that's a Canadian one. And then I thought it was a little off kilter when I had it on the center stand, so it's missing a bolt right there. And then looking at this shock, I don't know my RZ history, but it's different from the American RZs I have. This one doesn't have the little adjustable belt for the preload, I think. But once again, everything I say on these videos, sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. There's always somebody that knows more, and then the internet. So, looks like the oil pump actuator thing is good there. And somebody was actually smart enough to put that in there. It's got a different radiator cowl. And I think on this side, the biggest thing is that foot peg. But I intended on putting rear sets that I got off at FZR, but they'll go on another bike. And yeah, the front wheel looks good. And then it shows underneath, oh, it does have a horn. So it has that one horn right there. And then the aftermarket turn signals. So there's a video of it in the prone position. And once again, I don't think this one was raced, especially if it had the center stand. Usually that's the first thing Joe racers take off, are the center stand, but don't know any history on this bike. So here's the RZ laid over on its right hand side. And looks like it's got an odometer cable. And looking on this side, I guess it does have a horn on this side too. And still has rubber brake lines, and these pieces in here are missing. And once again, it's got the different radiator shroud. The clamps are still on the air boots, and then there's a shot of the rear shock. And on my bikes, I've pretty much replaced all of them with R6 Yamaha shocks, but this one I don't have a clue about the linkage or anything. It is dirty, I never cleaned it. And just gives you more of a view. Tires are hammered. Side stand is good. And so there's the linkage. These seem like more rear set than mine, but you have to look at pictures to see how high this is in relationship to a regular RZ. And then it's got the spark plug wires, And, oh, the helmet lock. And the engine mounts look like they're all there. So there's a below view. And here's the fairing pieces. So I guess this is maybe the left-hand side. So that looks good. Has the mounting bracket there. And this would be the right-hand side. Typical stress cracks. So this looks good. And then those are just don't know if those part numbers mean anything. And then the lower cowl shows you the inside. Has the rubber grommets. Looks like this clip is missing right here. That side looks like it's been broken. Same with that. That's where it fell over on its right side. So there's those fairing pieces, and there's the bike on the side stand. And the gas tank in the background is for my racing RZ, and just trying to get some projects done. So there's the cool Canadian RZ350.